If you've been following along in our recent series of videos, you know that we've been focusing on relationships. We stated in our last video that the most important relationship we have is with ourselves, because every other relationship in our life is just a mirror of the relationship we have with ourselves. Today we're going to focus on arguably the second most important relationship we have, which is our relationship with our significant other, our intimate partner. This is my beautiful wife, Shelley. And we've been together in relationship for more than 30 years, which just almost seems bizarre, honey, huh?
Yes, it does.
And I can tell you categorically that we tend to get in relationship with our disowned parts. We get into relationship with a person that's a polar opposite of us. Someone that's had different experiences, has different life experiences, different character traits, different ways of viewing the world. And that's why they can drive us crazy. And I do drive you crazy sometimes, right, babe?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, and she drives me a little crazy too, right? There's no questions about that. So today we're going to focus on some of the key things that you can do to enhance your intimate relationship. And as a result of that, expand your life and expand your business. Philosophically speaking, we tend to get into relationship with our disowned parts, as we said earlier. Now, the reason why is because our ultimate purpose here on planet Earth is to experience life, to express ourselves, to learn to understand and appreciate all aspects of life in the universe, not just our little worldview. So again, we tend to get in relationship with people that are quite different than us. In many ways, are polar opposites relative to experiences and expressions, which allows us to grow as people. The bigger the person we are, the more whole we are, the greater the quality of our life. The greater the quality of our life, the greater the quality of our business, the more prosperous we can be, the more fun we can have, and the more fulfilled we can be, right? So we're going to share with you 3 things that made a big difference in our life as we learned how to understand and experience our polar opposite. One was public displays of affection. Ooh, oh my God. In my wife's house, when I first started dating her, I thought that I'd gone to a crazy place, okay? There was more public displays of affection in that house than I had ever witnessed in my entire life to that point. Mom and Dad used to snuggle on the couch and the kids would pile on top of each other. Versus at my house, man, if my brother and I sat closer than 3 feet apart, there would be like a fist fight, for Christ's sakes. So again, public displays of affection. She saw my family as being a little bit cold and a little bit standoffish, coming from that more, prudent Victorian era staunch British background. Not right, not wrong, just different. But we both grew and learned from each other. And I would say that there's a hybrid of that we've used in our relationship that we've passed on to our kids. I can tell you another one that was a big piece for us was internal and external processors. Again, we tend to get in relationship with our polar opposite. I'm much more of an external processor. If any of you that know me recognize that right away. I talk a lot. I talk with my hands because I'm processing information as I speak. I like to get into dialogue because the more dialogue I have, the more I think. Whereas, again, attract your polar opposites. Shelley is more of a what, hon?
Internal processor for sure.
Which means what?
I like to be quiet and think a lot before I ever respond.
So you can imagine our dynamic, right? Before we got this little piece of data, I would want to engage and get her talking and get in dialogue, and she would want to stop and think really before she ever answered. So her quietness would drive me batty because I'd want to get her to talk more. I'd want to engage her more. So I'd increase the volume and increase the velocity and increase the number of words. And how did that work, honey?
It didn't work. I didn't like it.
No, not at all. So what would she do? She would clam up and quiet down, which would drive me crazier. Now we can laugh about it, but at the time it caused us an enormous amount of frustration. So again, getting to understand your polar opposite, your partner, and understand how they process information, internal, external, as one simple thing from psychology, is a great piece. Another one was love languages. This is Gary Chapman's great writings. And we tend to get into relationship with, again, someone who's different than us. So my primary love language is words of affirmation, where Shelley's is?
Touch.
Yeah, physical touch, right? So she wants like hugs and affection and lots of physical touch because that lets her know that she's loved. Whereas for me, I want words of affirmation. I want her to tell me that I'm talented and special and fabulous and she loves me. So early in our relationship, she's all over me like a wet blanket. She's hugging me and fondling me. And I mean, I'm a guy, I like physical touch, but I mean, there was like a smothering kind of a thing. And I'm like, just step back, which hurt her, right? Whereas for me, I'm always telling her, you know, how talented, fabulous, and gorgeous she was, what a great ass she had. And, you know, it's not that she didn't like hearing that, but it wasn't necessarily the thing that, you know, filled her love tank. She would far rather just get a hug or just get her butt touched or whatever it was that floated her boat, right? Whereas for her, you know, I did literally had to teach her how to love me and teach her how to give me words of affirmation so that I knew that my love tank was full. So again, very simple things, but things that are underneath the auspices of different or polar opposites. So you need to watch for these things in your relationship and get them looked after. So in closing, folks, the quality of your life is directly proportional to the quality of relationships. Enhance the relationship with yourself and then work at enhancing the relationship with your significant other. It will definitely make a huge difference in your life like it has in ours. We've been in a relationship now for more than 30 years, married for actually 33 this year. And I'm not going to blow smoke up your end and say it was all like perfect, eh, honey?
Oh, no.
But it did have its growth moments, and like any relationship, there's a sine wave, ups and downs. And certainly, I feel like we're more in love now than we were when we first met, and I didn't think that was possible. So, again, harmonizing and optimizing relationships will make a huge difference in your life. If you're someone that would like to really dig deep into this and really invest the time that, say, Shelley and I have in both participating in and teaching retreats, we would encourage you to really look into a couples retreat. Take 3-4 days, which most couples retreats tend to be, and just dive into each other, dive into understanding each other, and teach each other how to love each other. Certainly here at Full Circle, we have a couples retreat that we've had tremendous success with. If you'd like to learn more about our couples retreat, simply click on the link associated with this video, and we'd love to chat with you about the benefit it could be to you and your significant other to join us in retreat. So again, this is Dr. Tom encouraging you to be more so you can do more and have more of what your heart desires. Thanks, honey.
You're welcome.